Welcome back. Now, for our CMO perspective this week, we're joined by Prashant Perez, who's Director of Marketing Chocolates at Mondelez India. Prashant, great to have you with us. Of course, chocolates are always top of mind to perk up a down mood, so let's talk about them. Prashant, India is arguably the world's fastest growing chocolate market. You've launched Cadbury's Dairy Milk Silk Bubbly, what you're touting as the country's first aerated chocolate. Tell us what your marketing strategy and your media mix for this particular kind of chocolate is.
So, we started planning the launch of Silk Bubbly over a year ago because the aerated chocolate and bubbly as a platform is one of our most successful platforms anywhere in the world. And we brought it to India under Silk because it gives this wonderful balance of a light eat and yet all the indulgence of a wonderful silk chocolate. So the strategy was to continue to drive the premium end of the chocolate market with new innovations and with things that consumers are going to really fall in love with. And that was the idea with the launch of Bubbly. We went on air with a fantastic television commercial and a big outdoor campaign. And happy to say that things have been going very well since then. We've got a phenomenal number of digital views, very good feedback from consumers, and both Facebook pages as well as the digital world is buzzing with positive feedback to us around the launch of Bubbly.
Of course, Cadbury recently launched the 4 new limited edition flavors. Tell us what was the thought process behind it, the marketing objective behind the Add a Flavor, Add a Friend campaign. You seem to be exploring various human emotions in relationships all along. This time, apparently, it's friendship.
I think what we did with the Flavorism campaign is we brought two very wonderful parts of the Cadbury portfolio together. One which is the entire relationship of friendships and growing friendships, which we believe is so core to what the Cadbury brand stands for, and what CDM can actually help consumers do, which is actually to grow their friendships. But at the same time, we even spoke about what are the new news we can give consumers on Friendship Day, which is the time during which we launched this campaign. And the thought of limited edition flavors came in, and we launched Black Forest and Coffee Almond, two slightly different flavors, but yet very universal in their appeal. And the idea was just that, we said there are so many different friends around that you have. Each friend brings its own little nuance and little touch to a relationship. In the same way, CDM and Cadbury Dairy Milk has so many different flavors it can offer you. And that was what led to the thought of Add a Flavor, Add a Friend.
So how has your foray into premium chocolates been with Bournville and then Temptations as well? Even last year's Cadbury Glow that you put out in the luxury gifting space, and you had the Cadbury Dairy Milk Silk Caramello. So how have these panned out for you? Is premium chocolates as a strategy really sustainable?
So if you look at the various segments in chocolate, the premium segment is the one that's been doing the best and actually led by Cadbury's with both Silk and then Bournville. So it's been a successful space for us. Glow was a natural extension into the premium gifting space, and that has met our first year ambitions, if I would say, and we're going to continue to play in that space going forward. If I look at the space which is Bournville, Bournville is a niche opportunity right now. Dark chocolate is a taste that needs to grow on you. But what we also do know that is once a consumer does get converted to dark chocolate, they're going to stay with the brand for a very long time, because then they almost love that taste profile, which is a nice little bittersweet profile. So Bournville is a brand that we are also going to continue to focus on over the next few years. And I think the combination of Glow, Silk, Bournville makes it a very potent portfolio at the premium end.
And then leveraging the abilities brought to the table by digital media, Prashant, especially social media, that would be very crucial to a space like chocolates, I'd imagine. So how have you gone about it? What's the strategy at play here?
So I think social media we use at two levels. One is we use social media a lot to announce our new launches, and to bring those launches to life. We also use social media to engage with our consumers, because I think beyond the new news of a launch, I think there is an ongoing conversation that we love to have with our consumers, be it in the slightly offbeat space of 5-star, where we are urging consumers to take it a little easy, get lost in the taste of 5-star and enjoy those moments of bliss, or it is in the space of Cadbury Dairy Milk, where we really explore relationships. And during festive time, naturally, it's our festive portfolio with celebrations where we bring that to life. So we use digital media in these two manners. I think the engagement part is what gives us a lot of confidence that we've built some very strong brands, because truly the messages we get from consumers can show you that there's a tremendous amount of brand love out there. The campaign that we just concluded on Add a Flavor, Add a Friend, it had a big digital leg, and what we were really doing is to remind people about their friends and about rekindling friendships, and there was a lot of social interaction happening around that campaign. What we now have is bubbly, and again, like we use the line silk bubbled up for joy. It's more than just the product, and we're urging consumers to talk about what it is like to have something which really brings irrepressible joy into their lives. And that's the kind of campaign that we have going on right now. We've done a very interesting campaign last year on the Celebrations brand, which you know about, where we send good wishes to the armed forces. We now have Rakhi, and again the whole campaign is reminding people about the lovely relationship between brother and sisters. So what you'll see is our campaigns tend to be a lot around relationships. At the same time, they bring in the products and what they have to offer to those relationships.
Prashant, I was reading a recent report by Value Notes. It says that Mondelez has 62% market share. It's followed only by Nestle at 18%. Tell us what the challenges are that you see in expanding your share of the Indian market from this point when you are at a pivotal point, really.
Yes, naturally, we're a big market leader. So, our relative market share is significant, and there's a big gap between us and the next player. What that means is we've actually got to play dual roles. We've got to play the role of driving the category and expanding the category, but at the same time we've got to play in the different spaces within this category to keep our shares where they are and grow them. And it is this dual role which requires the kind of portfolio that we've built up in Cadbury's over time. So as you can see, we've got some fantastic offerings and we're growing them at the premium end, but we've also got very strong mainstream brands, be it Cadbury Dairy Milk or 5-Star, which offer you that really core great chocolate experience and available and accessible right across the country. And then of course we also have brands which are there for the price points of 5 rupees, etc., where you want something that offers you great value, great fun, great taste, and yet doesn't cost the earth. So we've got a fantastic portfolio in my mind, and that's what helps us actually play across all segments. Each brand has its own role. Its role both in terms of meeting the needs of the consumer as well as growing the category, and that's how we manage to both grow the business as well as hold our shares and grow them sometimes.
Also, for the festive season, Prashant, you've kicked off things with the Raksha Bandhan campaign. Again, over there, you're capturing relationships and emotions. What was the thought there?
I think the Raksha Bandhan campaign is it's a lovely, cute film, which is really about the fact that brothers and sisters can fight with each other a lot. There's always a lot of bickering, but at its core and in their hearts, they also love each other very much. And I think that's what this film brings to life. And in so many ways, that's what Raksha Bandhan is all about. Yeah, and we brought it to life in the context of what's happening in the world around us, but still done in a very Cadbury way, if I would call it that.
And so for the rest of the festive season, Prashant, now what can we expect by way of a marketing strategy from Cadbury's?
Well, for sure you can expect a lot of action because, as I said, Bubbly has just been launched. I mean, we're hardly a little over a month in the market, and watch the space. I'm sure it's going to do very well, and probably the next time we chat, I'll be talking about some really fantastic performance from Bubbly. Naturally, you see, we've relaunched our rich dry fruit collection, which goes into the market now during Raksha Bandhan and will continue in Diwali, and it's a beautiful gift pack. Glow continues in the market, so that's also absolutely fresh. It just came in Diwali last year. So there's a lot of new stuff that we are putting out there in the market, meeting the needs of different consumer segments. And you can be sure there'll be some new campaigns as well. We'll break between now and the rest of the year. So watch this space, as I said.
All right, Prashant, that's where we're leaving it. Thank you indeed for joining us, and good luck with the festive season going ahead from here as well.